Hello, beautiful stitchers. My name is Catherine, and this is my very first Flosstube. A little bit about myself. I live in Wisconsin near Milwaukee, and I am a librarian. And so part of what I hope to do on the Flosstube is to share news and information at the beginning of the Flosstube, and then share my projects, and then at the end have a book recommendation for you all. The name of this channel is Muffy's Stitch Club, and I named it that because I'm starting a cross stitch club in the Milwaukee area, and it's going to be just at the public library, a place for stitchers to come and stitch together and meet each other and have a good time. And I went to the local public library to reserve the room, and I could only make 2 room reservations. They said if I have to get 6 people to come to the club, or else I can't make another room reservation. So I thought to myself, well, how will I spread the news that I'm starting a cross stitch club so that people will actually come? And I thought, oh, I'll have a YouTube. So if you live near Milwaukee and would like to come to the Stitch Club, or if you know someone who lives near Milwaukee and would like to come, I linked to the Muffy's Stitch Club Facebook page below, and that has all the information about the upcoming events. It's April 2026 now. The very first club meeting, Muffy's Club meeting, is going to be in May, and then the second one will be in June 2026. All right, so on to news and information. Spring Bingle registration opened, and it's an online retreat hosted by Lindy Stitches. I saw the project that Nicole Spohr is teaching. It's adorable. It's a ladybug, and it is wool applique, and it is beginner friendly, so absolutely beautiful. And then Jacob from Modern Folk Embroidery is doing a class on mistakes in samplers, and then Hands-On Design is going to have a class. It looks like one of their mattresses, but it's octagonal instead of being square, which was really cool. The second news item is that Nicole Spohr is doing a stitch along for the Annie B's Patriotic Pairs now, and she will be recording the YouTube video for how she does the finishing on those pairs, and I'll link her YouTube page below. And then the last news event is about an event that I went to called Market Madness. And it was a free event hosted by a cross-stitch store in Northern Illinois called Beautiful Sip and Stitch. B-E-E, like the bumblebee, Beautiful, Y-O-U-T-I-F-U-L, Sip and Stitch in Northern Illinois. It was on a couple Sundays after Nashville Market, and the event was from 12 to 6. And it was at the VFW across the parking lot from the Beautiful Sip and Stitch store. And you walk in, and it's a huge room with a lot of long tables with seating there. And then you could just sit and stitch. And then there were also the owner, Brett, of Beautiful Sip and Stitch. She made recipes out of the Nashville cookbook, and there had to be at least like 10 crock pots going there the whole time, and a bunch of desserts that she made as well from the cookbook. And then there were tables of linen and aida and so much stuff that patterns and finishing supplies that Brett brought back from Nashville. A ton of stuff. It was really fun to see. So I met some really great people there. Like I said, it's a free event, but they ask you to register in advance. So I registered in advance. There had to be about, I'd say about 60 to 80 people there, sitting and stitching and having a good time. It was nice because they did have food there, so you didn't have to worry about leaving and then coming back if you wanted to get food. And then the store was open for part of the day, so I got to see the store. The store is fairly new. I think it's only been there about 2 years, and it has a big table for sitting and stitching. It has patterns organized in binders. It's a very organized store. And then it has a pretty big size room with fabric, and they have fabric there that I had never seen. Like I had never seen Mason linen or tabby cat linen, and they had that there, which was kind of exciting. So that's a fun event to go to. So put it on your calendars for next year to check for it. I hope they have it. I think they have it every year, so I hope they have it next year. The things that I got at the event at the Market Madness was this cookbook. And you can get this cookbook on the beautiful Sip and Stitchery website. They have a website as online store as well as an in-person store. This is the 2026 Nashville Needlework Market Cookbook. And my favorite recipe that was at the Market Madness was the Can You Bring That Dip Again? And it had cheese in it and bacon bits and sour cream. It's very good dip. And then my favorite dessert that they had was a really moist chocolate cake with a peanut butter frosting, and it's called screwball cake. It doesn't have any eggs, butter, or milk. It is so moist though. It's really, really good chocolate cake, which I think a lot of times chocolate cake can get dried out, but that was so moist and delicious. And then there are so many patterns in here that I want to do. There's a 6-7 pattern. I'm not gonna do that one, but there's a bee pattern. Let's see. There's a birthday cake, America turning the 250th anniversary. Shepherd's Bush has a pattern with sheep on it that says, "This is the day, be glad in it." There's a ton of things in this book. There's a Plum Street sampler, George Washington and a cherry tree. It's small. All the patterns are really small, like George Washington's face, and that pattern has 2 stitches. They're small patterns, but super cute. And oh, there's those star quilt patterns? There's one from Summer House Stitchworks. So many things in here that look super fun to do. And then the other thing that I got at Nashville was this fabric, or Market Madness, I should say. I was not in Nashville. The thing that I got at Market Madness. And this is Picture This Plus Heartland 36 count, and it's a 1/4 yard. And this is pretty accurate as to what it looks like. I wanted to show you what it looks like next to something you might know, which is, this is 36 count Vintage Country Mocha by Zweigart. So you can tell the Vintage Country Mocha, it's a little darker, a little bit more gold, but they're both really nice. I like them both in terms of like subtle modeling. I don't know how well white would pop on. Actually, I think white would pop pretty well on this, but maybe not like a cream. I'm not sure because I haven't stitched with it yet, but I love the Vintage Country Mocha because white always looks so nice on it. All right, so that's my haul from the Market Madness event, which was so fun. Next thing I'm going to do is show you some of my finished, not fully finished. I've only been stitching for a little over a year, so this was my first cross stitch that I ever did, and it's a pattern called Mouse's Laundry Day by Tiny Modernist, and I love the variegated threads that Tiny Modernist uses. And this pink dress is crepe myrtle, Weeks Dye Works crepe myrtle. It looks gorgeous. And I also love this gray. This gray is galvanized. I used all the called for, except I didn't use called for the white. It called for whitewash, and I used just plain DMC white. And then the gold, the store I went to didn't have Yukon gold, and so I just used regular Weeks Dye Works gold. I loved stitching this. And there are other mouse patterns from Tiny Modernist for different holidays, which is fun. I think I want to get a frame for this, but I'm not totally sure. I just really enjoyed it. The fabric is 16 count Permin French lace. So it has a little tiny bit of a green, but not much green. It's a good neutral color, really good neutral color. The next project I want to show you is a project called The Hunt by Bent Creek. So these are all spring projects. The Hunt by Bent Creek. Now, Bent Creek also has a bunch of other sheep patterns. This is just some of them though, like the sheep wrapped up like a gift for Christmas and the sheep carrying the freedom flag. There's like a Chinese New Year sheep. There's a husband and wife getting married sheep. There's so many of them. And I stitched it on 25 count potato. And I loved potato. It is 25 count potato it is very soft, really easy to stitch with, like not like hard crunchy Aida. Sometimes it's very easy to stitch with, and I like that it has little flecks. I think it looks natural because of that. I really enjoyed this, and I stitched 2 over 2. I don't think you need to do 3 over 2, even though it's 25 count. I thought that the coverage was really good. So that was a fun one. And then the next one is a whip that I have of this pattern, Daisy May by Stitching with the Housewives. And I love this one. Actually, the way I got interested in cross stitch is because I watched Stitching with the Housewives on YouTube. I had never cross stitched, never crossed my mind that I might like doing it, but YouTube recommended their videos to me and I just started watching them and I kind of fell in love. So this is Daisy May, and I think it's just, I really like that daisy. And the sheep is cute too. The whole thing is super cute. So I have a small start. So I'm stitching 1 over 2 on a 32 count lugana slate from Fiber on a Whim. It's a little bit blue. It's a gray with a little blue in it. And I really like stitching on this. And I think 1 over 2 on 32 count is real good coverage in this. It's a tight, it's not hard to stitch on this, but it's, you know, the holes aren't too big. I like that. I like that look. So that's my start to Daisy May. And then this is a project that I kitted up that I'm gonna show you. I didn't start on it yet because I need to actually get the needles to stitch it with. And the pattern is Teresa Kogut, Curious Bunny. And I got this pattern from a store called Tomorrow's Heirlooms. It's about 30 minutes west of Chicago. And it's a huge store. It's been there since the 1980s. They have a ton of old stuff and they have the new stuff, which is so fun to look through. You could spend days shopping there. It's that kind of store. When I was there, I saw a model that was so beautiful. It's this bunny pattern, but it's using these floss called Jumbuck. It's a Dinky Dyes product, and they're 50% wool, 50% wool, 50% silk, and they're so soft. I don't know what this really is. I looked up Jumbuck online, and that's kind of like a Dinky Dyes term for this, and so I don't know really what it is. But to me, it's like a more like a yarn, not a floss. So they used these Dinky Dyes Jumbucks on this. I think this is a 20 count Weeks Dye Works fabric, but I'm not sure exactly what the name of the fabric is. I will check with them and I'll let you know next video when I start it. So I needed to order larger size needles to work with this, and I made a purchase online. I went on the DMC website and they finally had the DMC thread color card in stock, and I was so excited. So I got that, needles, and a couple other things so that my cart got up to $40 so I could get the free shipping. And so once I get those needles, I'll be able to start this project. And I just loved the colors that they chose. So that store, if you're interested in doing that, it's called Tomorrow's Heirlooms. I'm sure if you called them, they could help you with kitting it up. Oh, and I forgot to show you this. This is just a big bag. It's really nice. This was free at the beautiful Sip and Stitch Market Madness event. They just had these out at all the place settings with like a cute pen and a cute notebook. So that was a lot of fun. So thank you to Brett for hosting that event, that wonderful event. And then I wanted to end with a book recommendation. So today's book recommendation is a book called The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse. And it's a really uplifting, positive book to read. It has a lot of beautiful pictures, and there's a lot of wisdom in this book too. So I just want to share one page with you. And this is kind of what most of the book looks like. There's a lot of pictures in this book. And then this says, "Being kind to yourself is one of the greatest kindnesses," said the mole. So if you're interested in reading more, go to your local public library and check this out. I hope you'll enjoy it. All right, well, thank you so much for watching. If you could comment on this video what you like to stitch in terms of like what motif you like to stitch. I'll share those next video. So whether it's mice or horses, or I really like to stitch houses because I like the fill-in part of it, but then I also like getting to like the windows. I don't know, I just like them a lot. And then yeah, or whatever it is that you look for, maybe daisies, or some people really like cardinals. If you write a comment with what you like, I will share that in the next video that I create. If you like the video, if you could like and subscribe, I would so appreciate it. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.